Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate your time just for being here, subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing the content that I have been sharing with you guys thus far. Speaking of Abalozi, guys, that's what I'm here. All right, we all know that they can actually be complex and difficult to understand, guys, as they communicate through wild winds. Okay, so now how do you get to understand when they are trying to communicate with you, especially when you are not familiar with their communication type of way? Okay, so usually your ears will definitely itch a lot when they are trying to communicate. Yeah, also bear in mind that sometimes it can actually be earbuds, guys. Your ears can actually be dirty, you just have to clean them, you know. That doesn't necessarily mean that all the time when your ears are itching, it's Abalozi trying to communicate. Okay, so when your eyes are communicating and it is accompanied with your eyes trying to be more blurry, you know, that is when you get to understand. And now they are trying to communicate, they are trying to tell me something. And when that happens, don't just ignore, guys, because remember, so it's very difficult to communicate. So you have to understand their language, their way of doing things. So once that happens, now this is where you get the weapon that has been provided to you by them. You know, we all know that they use the wild winds, so they use the element of air more for communication. So you use a whistle, as we all know. So it doesn't necessarily mean the usual whistle that we all know, guys. Every ancestor have their own preferences, of which it will definitely be provided to you by them. If velo, of course, you do have Abalozi, okay? So they will have their own type of whistle that they want you to use, and they will definitely give you direction as to how to use it to actually summon them and also be able to put them to rest, because you can definitely wake them up without putting them to rest. That will mean that you will definitely be inviting trouble for you, because they are the type that cannot always be active, guys. We all know that, you know. Abalozi are all about fighting, waking, and all that jazz. So when you summon them, make sure and be sure, why are you summoning them? What is it for? Okay, and once that is done, put them to rest. Of course, that's how it works, guys. Okay, so once your ears start itching like that, that is when you know that you need to actually summon them and make them aware that, okay, I see you, okay, I recognize you, and then they will communicate with you. Maybe they're trying to warn you about something that is just about to come. They do that more likely if there is danger approaching you, guys. So it's very important to actually pay attention to them. Remember that they are not our day-to-day type of ancestors that we can actually happen to roam around like our primary guys. Do you understand? So that's why it's very important to pay attention when they are trying to communicate with you guys. Okay, so that's how you actually build a relationship with them. Remember that when you actually get to understand them, it actually takes you to another step of you building a relationship with them. So it becomes better, even brighter for you to actually make use of them, you know, guys. So it's very important. And another thing, it's when you don't pay heed, they go even more further. You will suffer from muscle pains, you will suffer from a back pain, moving forward, a headache that doesn't necessarily stop. It's because you are not paying attention, and now they become enraged because they think that maybe you are avoiding them, only to find that you don't understand. So it is very important every time when you communicate with them, let them know, and let them know that some of the things you don't understand, not that you are maybe you are careless or you are not paying attention, you know. Just let them know so that they can actually be of assistance to you in order to actually build a better relationship, guys. You know, it's very important. Remember that they are here to actually help you, not break you, you know. Abalozi, they are those type of ancestors that you cannot actually shut up, you know. The reason why we get initiated by them is so that we can actually get to understand them and be able to work with them, not shut them up, you know. So when you are not responding to them, it is more to them like you are literally shutting them up, and that actually enrages them. And once that happens, that means trouble, guys, for you. So it's very important to understand their way of communications. Another thing is when you are supposed to be stepping out of your house, guys, you know, you will find that you hesitate a lot. You're supposed to be going somewhere and you hesitate a lot. You leave this, you leave that, you know. Before you know it, you end up not going. That's a sign that they are trying to get in hold of you, guys. Okay, it doesn't necessarily that it has to only be your ears, you know. They are trying to hold you back. They are trying to stop you from moving. Remember that movement requires the element of a more, you know. So when they drag you backwards instead of you moving forward, just know that they are also trying to protect you in a way, shape, or form. So it's very important to get back to them when that happens. And this requires you to have a safe space where you can actually be alone, guys, so that you can actually understand the messages, because they communicate through wild winds, of which it doesn't necessarily want some disturbance of some sort. So you have to give them that one-on-one space where you can actually communicate with them, you know, more in a meditative state, guys. That's what I mean. That's what I wanted to share with you guys, a little that I wanted to share with you, hoping it does make sense to some of you. If it does, guys, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. I'll appreciate that. From me to you guys, I'm sending you light. You take care. Bye bye.